audio for camera 1 rolling. Okay. And camera 2. Great. This is Traveller's World, where every episode takes you to new destinations and uncovers incredible travel stories. I'm your host, David Barrett, and today we're joined by an extraordinary traveller who has embarked on some truly remarkable adventures. Let's get started. Presented in partnership with Travel Daily News Asia Pacific, welcome to this latest episode of Traveller's World.
Young, I had heard the name Timbuktu and I always thought about it, and I had traveled a lot in my life, starting from the age of 18. I lived around the world for 16 years in 9 different countries. At a certain point in time, I was reaching my 50 years of age, and I wanted to do something special. You could say maybe it was like on the verge of a midlife crisis or something like that. And I thought again about Timbuktu, and I decided that's where I was going to go. So I researched a little bit, and they had there the Festival au Désert. It's a big concert in the middle of the Sahara Desert in Timbuktu, or outside of Timbuktu. Eddie Vedder played there. A number of famous, international musicians had played there. And so I went, and it was purely just to have like an amazing, interesting trip as I was approaching 50. And while I was, I took a 3-day boat ride, they call it Pinas, along the Niger River, from the middle of Mali, Mopti, to Timbuktu, sleeping on the banks of the desert 2 nights, and arriving in Timbuktu to the festival. And I went out and saw some of the amazing music they have in Mali. It's soul-stirring, and it's the forerunner of blues in the U.S. I woke up one morning, and I sort of had enough of the music. I mean, it was awesome, but I wanted to do something different, maybe go a little deeper. And so I jumped on a camel with my guide and ended up in a village. And from that village experience was born the foundation that I started called Caravan to Class.
And what is that foundation doing?
From that experience, I decided, I should say, as a 50th birthday present to myself, that me and my family would build a school in a village called Tedeni. And I found a local NGO as a partner, which was key to be able to implement that. Had a plan, a budget, raised some money. And when I went back at the end of 2010 to see the school built, it changed me in a way. I saw like what an enormous amount of good for a whole village one could do for a relatively small amount of money. And that's when I decided I was going to make that an ongoing foundation. So the idea of Timbuktu is to provide access to education for the youth of Timbuktu at different levels. Now we've expanded into other parts of West Africa. We started with one major program, which is our school building and support program. We build a school in a village. We sign a contract where they designate a central plot of land in the village. They provide unskilled labor, and for support, we pay for teacher salaries and provide school supplies and basic food and uniforms for a period of 3 years. These are French language schools for children ages 1 to 6. And then 2 years later, we added to that a female adult literacy program because we saw that it was important to sensitize the mothers to get children into school.
Is that an issue then, Barry, that mothers don't often perceive education as essential for kids?
I mean, in general, that's the case. The language out there for the Tuareg in the desert, Tamashek, wasn't even a written language until not that many years ago. So the idea of like learning to read and write French itself is like a big deal. These were former nomadic people that had become sedentary in villages due to desertification and the splitting up of boundaries in 1960, where a lot of that area was given independence from France. So yeah, we realized that by getting the mothers excited about education was our ability to increase the number of children, because we can't force the kids to go to school. These are in distant villages. They're not even in the town of Timbuktu. They're far away. We can't control the outcomes. All we can do is try to influence them. We make our best decision of a village to pick where we think that will happen, but we were able to speed that along by educating the mothers. So what we would do is put them in a schoolroom for 3-4 days a week for a few hours and teach them basic literacy in their local languages. So the kids were learning French, but the mothers, that would be too big of a stretch for them. So we taught them to learn and read and write either Tamashek or Sorai. It's the two major local languages there. And we saw the pride that they have in just being able to be in school. That had never happened for them. And actually we won an award from the World Food Program, that's part of the UN, for female adult literacy, and a nice grant from them. So anyways, to continue, I had a tragic event in my life. In 2017, I lost my wife in Botswana in a tragic accident. And from that, I decided to start a new program, which is our third program. I call it Bourse Jackie, the Jackie Scholarship, named after her, where we started out providing university scholarships to a select group of women from Timbuktu to go to university. So when they go to university, they have to go to the capital, Bamako, which is about 1,000 kilometers away, and a world of difference for them. It's like going from a small town to a huge city. So we saw that in our first cohort, the life-changing experience that had for them. And so we decided to invest in other Bourse Jackie programs. So that program's been going on for 6 years now. We've given 30 scholarships to young women. The results are pretty impressive. We've had a few women win a scholarship to go to the U.S., the Madeleine Albright Scholarship. We have one now in Switzerland. We have another who actually works for my foundation in Mali. And then last year we started another program called the English Language Scholarship Program, Bourse Jackie English Language Scholarship Program, which provides 6 months of English tuition, intensive English, in Ghana. And it's for all of West Africa. And we're in our second cohort for that program now.
So I think I know the answer. You had this dream to go to Timbuktu. Did the destination meet and exceed your expectations?
Oh, the trip itself was amazing. I mean, it changed me in a way, just like...
Did you travel with your wife to Timbuktu, or did you meet her on your...
But I did take my family the following year, the whole family, and it was my kids. They were young then. They were only 10 and 11. They had been well-traveled because we had lived in Moscow, and we raised our kids in Moscow up to the age of 5. So they had been well-traveled, but that was a really different experience for them, and life-changing for them too. I mean, just, so I'm Jewish, and to see like my kids hanging out with young Muslim Africans and enjoying each other's company was a sign of sort of how the world should be in a way. When you come down to it, we're all just people trying to get by. So that was an amazing family trip, and my older son's been back with me in 2017. During a gap year to inauguration of one of the schools that we built.
They must be so proud of you, of what you've achieved with your foundation. How can we find out more, and how can we support you? Do you have a website?
Sure. Yeah, we have a website, www.caravantoclass.org. We are a registered U.S. 501c3 charitable foundation. We've been in existence for 15 years. Also, we have an Instagram and a Facebook page, Caravan to Class. And I'm currently writing a book about my travels around the world. I've only got one country left, which is North Korea, which is closed right now. But when it opens, it'll be my last country. And my book's called Belonging to the World. And there's a website, www.belongingtotheworld.com. The book, I hope to be published next year. All the proceeds from that will go to provide scholarships for young women in West Africa.
Inspiring. Keep up the travels. Hope you can clock up North Korea. And I'm going to stay tuned for the publishing of the book, because I'm going to buy a copy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Barry, for meeting us at Traveller's World, part of the Extraordinary Travel Festival. Keep travelling.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cut.